Yo, SupremeDaalmighty back in the building. What's good, y'all? We got the homie Novatore on the show tonight. Shout out to the sponsors, you know what I mean? Snow Goons, Creative Uses Music, Eastside International, Blaze 'em Up Radio, Vinyl Frontier, Smile the Ghetto Child, the usual suspects, you know what I mean? Hope everybody's having a good week so far. We're going to be chopping it up. Talk about his latest release, newest album, Alchemy and Black Magic. Try to get him in here real quick. Peace to everybody tuned in and whatnot.
Yo, yo.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Chilling, man. It's good to finally get to chop it up with you and whatnot.
Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Word. First of all, I gotta say, man, that album is fucking immaculate, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was listening to it through the Spotify because I ordered my copy, so I couldn't wait. So I had to listen to the Spotify just to make sure, so I can give you a real professional review, if you want to call it that. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
All right, make sure.
Dude, it should be there in a few days, probably tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. No doubt. Throw it up on the IG and shit so everybody can see it too. But yeah, so let's set it off real quick. I bet. So I had some questions just to basically ask you and whatnot. Aside from the album, you know what I mean, just to get a better feel for you as an artist and as an individual. So first of all, I want to know, how did you come up with the name Novatore?
So the name Novatore was based off this like crazy anarchist dude from the 1800s, this Italian dude, and he just like wrote crazy poetry, and he just lived his life like extreme. Like he died from having to shoot out with cops. Yeah, he was just a wild dude, and his poetry was inspiring, and his whole life was inspiring. So I just took the name because no one really heard of the dude before. A lot of people asked me that. But yeah, his name was Renzo Novatore, man. If you get a chance to Google him, he's a pretty wild dude.
Yeah, definitely got to check that out now that you said that. I ain't never heard that name before either, so it's like, that's crazy. It sounds foreign too. Yeah. In general, you know what I mean? It's like, so when I first heard your name from the homie Benny Holiday, shout out to him. I thought you was from a whole different state or a whole different country at first, because I was just like, you know what I mean? Because like the name is unique, but it's also like international sounding. So
yeah. Some people have said Novatore and shit because it is Italian. So
no doubt, yeah, no doubt. So yeah, I wanted to ask you that because you know what I mean, like that. I definitely want to make sure people knew where that came from, for those that didn't know and whatnot. We could just hop right into the album as well. Actually, so Alchemy and Black Magic. What made you want to title it that?
So Alchemy was about two things. One, it was about finding the elixir of life, which is what made you live forever, and it was about turning base metals into gold. So for me, it was like a metaphorical thing. Like I want to leave my impact on this game, so when I die or retire or whatever, I want it to live after me. You know what I mean? Everyone wants, when they die, to have their shit memorized. You know, people to remember them, who they are, what they did. So that's what that's about. And then as far as like the turning the base metal into gold, I feel like from me starting rapping till now, and for me getting sober, I've elevated so much. And so it's just a representation of that. And then the Black Magic I kind of just threw in there to give it a little extra spin. You know what I mean? Not too much.
No doubt. You would definitely have some dope features on there. You got the homie Lord Goat on there and shit. Yeah, I'm on there twice. Now I had to ask, was there any particular reason you had him only on there twice?
As opposed to other people?
Yeah.
Yes, I just been, well, for one, he's a huge influence on me. Like there was a point in time where he was my absolute favorite. He's still up there as one of my favorites. And I just talked to him a lot over the years. He fucks with my shit more. He shares it more. So I feel like, you know, it's a little more personal for me because I'm a huge fan of him, and he actually fucks with me more. So like it makes sense that I would have him on there. You know what I'm saying? His voice is just so dope. So, well, yeah. Yeah, definitely out of the nonfiction. Definitely Gore was, he was always on point.
I mean, Ill Bill is sick as fuck too. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But it's just something about Gore's verses that kind of stuck out to me a little more, especially in the older nonfiction days, the earlier nonfiction days, because you know, I be talking about it's really jeans, and you know what I'm saying, and being on the run from the cops.
Hell yeah. His voice is just so badass, dude. Like, I don't think I've ever heard a bad verse from him. Like, you don't even really have to try that hard, I think, and it's just fucking awesome every time. And it's crazy, too, because he doesn't have, like, insane wordplay, or you know what I mean? Some people try really hard and stack everything. He don't really have to do that. He could, like, just spit almost anything, and it just sounds amazing. It's just natural for him.
Yo, yeah, you ain't lying. He has such a unique style, and you could kind of put him on anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I figured maybe that was like one of your like all-time favorite type features aside, because if you look at the album, he's on there twice. So it was kind of like I wanted to know, like, you know what I'm saying, was that, you know, intentional, I guess you could say, or is this just maybe you had a track that you wanted to release that might have been older, and you're like, you know what, let me just throw this out there at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
a little bit of both. It's like I'll hear a certain beat and you hear certain people's voices to it. You know what I mean? Like, I think I already had the Suicide Choir feature from him, and it made sense to have basically nonfiction on the track minus, you know, Sabak and shit. But then I think the second one, I heard it and I'm like, oh my God, he would sound perfect on here, man. You heard the Electric Lucifer album? The by Gore, when he was going by Gore Elohim. I don't know if you ever heard that album, Electric Lucifer.
I might have heard like pieces of it, 'cause, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it was like Green on the Front, some alien shit. But anyway, when I heard the beat, I'm like, yo, it sounds like something almost straight from his album. You sound perfect on here. So yeah, I just thought he was a perfect fit, so I had to have him on it. Yeah,
Gore's the homie. Shit, I talk to him. I try to talk to him at least once a week, or I try to, you know what I mean, keep in contact with him. He a good brother and shit. And yeah, I was glad you had him on the album. He fit perfectly on there, especially the joint with him and Ill Bill also on there. It was like, that's like the all-star lineup right there. You got fucking two of them on there. It's like I don't see too much of that aside from the Benny Paz joints and the you know what I mean, heavy metal joints, and you know what I mean. So it's like, that this album had to be special to have both of them on one track like that. You know what I'm saying? So just putting that out there too. Shout out to Lord Goat. I think I mentioned that.
Before? Have you talked to Goat on here before?
What happened?
Like, have you interviewed Goat before?
Oh yeah. I got one with him like a year ago or whatnot. Like, like we got into some heavy conversations and shit, and Blizz from Juice hopped in there and shit. So you know what I'm saying, we was all politicking and shit. But I do talk to him regularly and shit. He's been busy since the nonfiction tour and shit. So you know what I mean. So I hope he's doing good and shit. But yeah, I think I want to mention that first before we hopped into the album, because like, yeah. That's awesome. Every time any album that has Gore on it, like, I just feel like it's got to be dope. Like, it has to be, cause you know what I mean. He ain't gonna just work with anybody. He picky too. I ain't gonna front. The homie picky. Gore real picky. If anyone to work with, he a picky motherfucker, but he a good dude, man. Cause I hit him with like mad beats and shit, and he's like, nah, that's not it. Nah, so I'm like, damn, bro, like hit you with like 10, like, but I'm glad he's like that though, because you know what I mean, that just goes to show he's really about his shit. He ain't just out there like collecting money and shit and then be like, oh, whatever, like, just throw me whatever. So that's what makes him hip hop, like, straight up. But we fucking the album though, I love everything about it. The beats were fucking like real gritty shit, and it's like you had different flavors on there too, because I heard you on a lighter beat. I forgot the title off the head, but like, you know what I mean, the fucking you is on a more lighter beat, but you fucking bombarded the shit out of it with lyrics, and I was kind of shocked, because I was like, to go from dark and metaphorical and punchline to punchline to hopping on a lighter beat and it still like be relevant, you know what I mean, still being on point. It's kind of tough as an MC. So I just wanted to mention that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. But I did have two favorites off of that. I mean, it's hard for me to just really say two because I kind of liked everything about the album, to be honest with you. So it's like, but aside from that, before I mention mine, did you have any two favorite tracks off there that kind of stuck out to you a little more than others?
And it kind of always changes, but I think the ones I like the most are probably Death to the False, and then Spellcaster, the last track on there. My dude 20 did the hook. It was just catchy as fuck, man. It reminded me of like some New York shit versus like mixed with some 3 6 Mafia style shit. You know what I mean? Like just kind of thrown it together. And it sounds like it wouldn't work, but the beat just fit perfect with it. And yeah, I love that one.
Yo, like I had a honorable mentions, like the Join with Ill Bill and Gore-Tex. C-Lance did his fucking thing on his album. Like, I've heard some of his newer stuff, and you know, it sounded dope too. But I feel like he really kind of went back on the Jedi Mind Tricks feel for this one, because like
definitely
everything is just dark and just real gritty. Like I loved it. But I definitely have to say Rewind with RJ Payne. Like there was just something about it. Like you know what I mean. Aside from the hook, you know what I mean. I love scratches and hooks, but the lyricism, the way you're rapping it, the way you set it off. It definitely stuck out to me a little more. Like I know it's kind of cliche because it's pretty much the first track.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just is. It's exactly what it is. Like it's rewind value. Because every time I was listening to this shit, I was waiting for the shit to replay back to the first track. You know what I mean? So.
Hell yeah, appreciate you, man. Yeah, I was just trying to stack that one with like punchlines on top of punchlines on top of punchlines, where it's like impossible to catch them all the first time. You could hear it 20 times, you probably hear, you know, a small little thing. So that was my whole goal with that one, basically.
Yeah. I do have to mention something too before I forget, because I'll be a forgetful motherfucker. There was one of the tracks, I don't remember which one it was, but you did say you don't need features. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did say that in one of your lyrics, and that shit stuck out to me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely hold my own. I was just thinking about this earlier. It's like some people hate on people who get a lot of features on their albums, but to me, it's like it's what gets people in the door. You know what I'm saying? But when they get there, you got to have something quality too for them to stay. It's like if you're throwing a party and you got something on the flyer, free drinks for the first 20 people or whatever you're putting on the flyer, that's just to get them in the door. But if they get to the party and the shit sucks, they're gonna leave. You know what I mean? So for me, let's get people in the door, but you got to have some quality to deliver. And I feel like I'm at a point now where I can definitely do that on my own for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like features are dope. Like, I mean, I said this before, but like, I feel like features are dope when it's an artist that you generally respect. It's someone you grew up with, and someone you really was on your bucket list. Like, now, as far as stacking features, I'm kind of against that. Because, you know what I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people are doing that, and, you know, they might have the funds to back it, whatever the case, but it takes away from you as an artist, because it's like, how can you really show what you're capable of if you outshined by your feature, first off? Yeah. Second off, you know what I mean?
No, 100%. I feel you. And I feel like, you know, in this day and age, in the streaming era, people know that's what fucking stacks the streams up, is stacking features on it. So you're even seeing like the bigger dudes getting mad features on this shit. It's just kind of how the game is right now. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, because when I listen to albums, I get pumped too. Like when Bill drops shit and I'm seeing, look at the track list. It's fun for me, you know? But I hear what you're saying too. If you're going to put out a solo album, like you got to at least have half the tracks or close to it where it's just you shining. You know what I mean? I feel
let me elaborate a little better because of the way I said it, maybe. So pretty much what I mean, like, by like stacking features, like if it's an unknown artist that has no name to themselves, and you just every track is featuring Rusty Jukes, featuring Gore-Tex, featuring, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I want to hear my favorite rappers on this shit, but it makes me aside supposed to be doing, which is listening to you. 100%. So, but if you're already famous and you already established as an artist, then it's like, yeah, stack as many as you can have fucking 5 MCs on the same track. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, people just feel like they could just throw money at shit and that's gonna gonna work for them. You know what I mean? Like, man, you gotta have some talent in there, some pride in what you do too. I definitely suggest for people newer in the game to not do that shit, because if you suck ass and you get the feature, it's just like that many more people seeing how bad you are. You know what I mean? Like early in the game, I probably got some features too early in the game when I shouldn't have. So I definitely say that, you know, develop your craft as much as you can first before you start doing that. It's my opinion.
They, you know what I'm saying? They stick out like a sore thumb. Because when people is listening to the track, and you got all these accomplished artists dropping fire, then you out here saying some weirdo shit. You know what I mean? You like a needle in a haystack. Like, everyone's looking for you, and they're like, "Yo, which one is he?" All I hear is feature on top of features. What, like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's cool. I mean, you need the talent though.
It's annoying too, because I'll be on like Spotify, and it'll give me like my Discover Weekly, and all I'm hearing is shitty ass songs, but it features of people that I know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's almost to the point where now I'm going through my Discover Weekly and I see a big feature, I don't recognize the name, I just skip it. I hate to say that, but it's like, man, it's just some bum getting a feature. That's how I feel. That's how my mind works when I see that, you know? Yeah,
nah, I feel you. I mean, you know, there's so much levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why a lot of people may like this show, is because, like, I keep it a buck. First off, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna play it. Second off, I'm an MC myself. I'm not the best. I'll say that. I keep it a buck. But at the same time, I'm an MC to a caliber that I know what's supposed to sound like. You know what I mean? Like, I know when you're just bullshitting on the track, and I know when you're just buying these features to cover up the fact that you're not good enough as a solo artist.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know what I mean? It's bad publicity. Yeah, it might get you publicity, but it's not the right kind, because if you suck and you didn't master your craft, like you said, you know what I mean? What's gonna happen when they, you know what I mean, when they put you on fucking, you know what I mean, BT, or they put you on one of these things now, and you out here rapping over your own vocals and shit, like looking mad suspect as fuck. It's like you can't hide no more. You out there because you push this promo and shit, but you weren't even ready for the shit. Exactly. So you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the artists I talked to are also, a lot of them said they don't like to punch in. You know what I mean? And like that was another thing that got brought up in the whole level city shit, is because, you know, if you have like bad breath control, I guess punching in, it kind of has to be mandatory. But like, to punch in just to sound witty or just to sound a certain way, like, it's gonna hurt you on stage. You're gonna have to have those vocals while you're rapping. Yeah. Because otherwise, every 5 minutes you're like, like, you know what I mean? It don't fucking work.
I'm not super opposed to punch in the studio. There's like, I have a lot of stuff where I've done one take or a second take or whatever. And the way I do an album is like, I pretty much have the shit memorized before I go to the studio. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, spend the least I can and get it done as fast as I can. I guess for me, when it comes to punching, is I'm like a pretty obsessive. So I'm extremely attention to detail. So sometimes I'm like, all right, let's fucking nail this 4 or this 8 as perfect as I can, and then we'll do the next. But talking about punching every line, that's a whole different thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's mainly for those fast rappers or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they can't fucking maintain the flow consistently or some shit, or you know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird to me, but like, ain't nothing wrong with punches. It's just, if you doing it just to make the track work, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Because, you know what I'm saying, you by this point you should have breath control. You should be able to manage your bars appropriately, so this way you're not like having to punch it every 5 seconds because you fucked up. But you know what I'm saying, shit like that. But yo, I also want to mention, not to sound like a dick rider, keep it a buck, but yo, the way you be riding the beats, bro, I'm like sitting here listening to this shit like, yo, god dang, riding that motherfucking shit like a wave. You know what I mean? Like, your wordplay, your fucking flow, you can sell you know your what you said. You know what I mean? So I like that though, because I feel like more artists need to be that way. So many people are so quick to throw something out there. I mean, I get it, because, you know what I mean, there's that saying that if you don't throw the idea out, someone else is gonna have the idea and they're gonna take it from you. So I get that completely, but it's like, you know what I mean? If you're just throwing shit out there just to look like you're doing something, it's silly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, really come correct with your shit. Now, based off the album, like I said, so just to run back real quick to that. So Rewind definitely hit me. I like RJ Payne. Like, I feel like he kind of matched your energy on that track too. That kind of what like attracted me to it too. Like, you know what I mean? He's usually not, as far as I can tell, so aggressive, but he got real aggressive in that verse like you was. So I like that energy. Y'all matched each other. And I definitely have to agree with you to Death to the False. I don't know why, but Tone Split, man. Shout out to Tone Split. He's a motherfucking beast. Every single, I never heard nothing with Tone Split that was fucking trash. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
he's dope, man. And he doesn't like overcomplicate shit too. He just makes it simple, but the sample is so perfect for the track that he just has to just throw a little extra on it and it fits fucking perfectly.
Yo, facts. Like, that shit really had me like I'm bopping to this shit. I'm like, yo, this shit's fucking, you know what I'm saying? This shit was ill. Like, I feel like I love albums like that too, where like they're so dope that you can listen to it in the whip, you can listen to it walking down the street, or you can even go to a motherfucking club, bounce that shit, and just, you know what I mean, people will actually bounce to it. You can be talking about ripping motherfuckers' heads off and they'll still be bouncing to it because it's that, you know what I mean? So, so I love that shit. Like, this is, yo, your chemistry with these producers, your chemistry with just how you're handling this shit, bro. Yeah. That's why I was like, yo, I gotta buy this. I don't care how much money's in the motherfucking bank. I gotta buy this shit. This shit is fucking crazy.
I appreciate you supporting and checking it out for real.
Word. I mean, cause I've heard your shit before. Benny put me on to you. I don't keep it a buck. I didn't really know who you were until Benny was like, yo, check out the homie. I was like, all right, cool. So shout out to him for that. I mean, he always hit me with connect and shit. And I was like, yo, this dude's fucking, this dude's nice. You know what I mean? Where the fuck have I been? You know what I mean? I felt kind of stupid when I didn't know who you was, kid, at first. Cause I'm like, yo, where the fuck this guy been at? I'm like, nah, it was me. I'm the dummy because I wasn't looking.
Man.
You know what I mean? So.
Shout out Benny Holiday, man, because he put me onto your shit too. Shout out Benny Holiday, that's the homie.
Yeah, that's the fam right there, man. He a good dude, man. Like, see, I appreciate everything he does for me and what he does for hip hop and shit. Like, yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, also make sure y'all check out his new video as well. You know what I'm saying? That shit was, the AI shit is crazy.
Yeah. I gotta check it out myself. I just seen him promoting it today. I was at work. I seen him promoting it on IG, so I'm gonna check it out after this.
Yeah. I seen it because the Snow Goons pages this shit. Like, this shit hot. I mean, I heard clips of it, but I like the direction he's taking shit now. Like, he's doing all different types of what do you call it? He's experimenting. I like that. Like, he's not just sitting still on the same shit. You know what I mean? So that's dope.
Yeah.
Also the fucking album cover. It's fucking crazy, bro. Like, are you gonna make posters and shit, like, for people to cop?
Yeah, I got posters on the website at Novatore.us. I usually do a poster for every release because, like, when this dude does my album art, he almost always does like a poster first and then does the album art from that. So almost like the last couple releases, anyone that he did, basically, I got a poster. So yeah, Novatore.us, and they're high quality posters too, man. They're not like garbage prints. They're high quality.
Yo, facts. This fucking yo. When I first seen it, bro, I thought it was a movie. You know what I mean? I was expecting to see the coming soon because this shit just looked like some Marvel shit.
He's insane, dude. The quality of artwork he does is like mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. Like, I think I first heard his shit from Stu Bangers had used his cover before. Who the hell did that? And then I ended up doing the project with him, and he linked me up with him. So ever since then, that's the only person I've had do my cover art, man. Man.
This shit is so dope, bro. Like, man, I love that. I love that too. I love cover art. I love when the artist can put together an immaculate album with the right kind of art to demonstrate exactly what you're getting too. Because just by looking at the album cover, before I even heard the music, bro, just looking at the album cover kind of told me, like, right off the bat, this shit's gonna be motherfucking fire.
Yeah.
Like,
that's one thing I can't stand when people have whack ass album art. I'm like, dude, if you're putting care into this shit, why would you not have a dope album cover? Like, it kills it for me. Don't get me wrong. There's like classic albums that have dropped that have whatever album covers, but it just irks me, man. It irks me.
Nah, I know. I know, bro. I know. Trust me. Like I'll be one to have the fucking posters, like I said, and shit like that. Like that shit is crazy, bro. Like I like your art in that shit. It's yeah.
Appreciate
Whoever does that is a fucking genius, because he brought that shit to
it.
life.
Yeah.
So yeah. So for those that didn't know, Alchemy and Black Magic is out. You know what I'm saying? It's on Spotify, but it's recommended to go cop the album. I got the album. I did cop it. So when he said, like you said, when it gets to me, I will post it up just so y'all can see. I don't play no fucking games. I support real hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely putting that on my motherfucking wall. My dumb ass shit told you to sign it. I didn't even think about it till now. Like, I'm fucking stupid. I should have been like, yo, can you sign it?
I would have too, man. And that's the other thing. I ship shit so quick that like by the time you pour the shit out the door, so
yeah, damn, it's all good. Cause one day we get up in some shit. How you sign that site? We'll figure some shit out. Yeah, I'm collecting that type of shit. I'm collecting the fucking signature shit and stuff like that. So like that album definitely. I was listening to it all fucking day, bro. Like, I was listening all day in the fucking whip after the job, and that shit really, I liked it. It was something. It was fresh air to me. Like, I don't know why. Like, you know what I mean? But it just the beats, everything about it. I didn't find like one fucking flaw in that shit. And it was only like 11 tracks. So it's like the fact that it had 11 tracks and every track was a banger was like it's unheard of usually.
Gotta slim that shit down to the best. You know what I mean?
Word.
20 track albums are dead. How do you feel about that?
What?
Albums are shorter these days. Is it about you down with that, or like what's your thoughts on it?
Not, I mean, it's like it's a touch and go for me, because it's like if the album is really dope, I definitely want to hear more tracks. But like if the album is subpar or something, then making it an EP was probably the best option based on what it was. But I do like albums and shit. But the rewind value seems to be more accurate with the EPs now, because I guess it's giving people less to have to listen to, less to have to sit there and focus on, because now they can just rewind at the 8 tracks after couple tracks. I mean, but I'm from the era where the albums were 25 tracks, 20 tracks.
Dude, Capital Punishment, Big Pun, it's like one of my favorite albums ever. It's like 22, 21 tracks or something like that.
Yo,
I mean, there's people I didn't want to hear that many tracks from, to be honest with you, but yeah, I like full albums, but shorter albums, like 10, 11 songs. Still LPs, but like on the slim side.
Yeah, Ben Worker said the same shit, like short attention span. That's unfortunately that's how I am too, because I mean, especially in my line of work where I'm interviewing people, stuff like that, it's hard for me to focus all week on one album when there's so much albums coming out. I feel like there's more albums coming out in these more recent years than there's been in a long time, where it's just everything's back to back to back to back. Like people can't even breathe anymore because there's so much dope shit coming out. Like if this was a few years back when the trap music first came in the scene, this and that, it would have been a different story, because everybody was still trying to figure out how to get around the trap music and still be able to sell shit. But now it's different, because we kind of flushed them motherfuckers out. All that trash bag ass shit, we flushed it out, and now we got Stu Bangers, C Lance, we got all these great Snow Goons, obviously, and we got so many dope music. It's hard to keep up. So to have a shorter track list, and it does make it a little easier for people like me that do interviews, because I can sit there and listen and just, I can have the track on repeat instead of having to be like, oh damn, I just listened to the same track 10 times, but I still have a whole 20 tracks I gotta go through.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And but like you said, with so many people dropping shit, and people are so prolific now, they're putting 4 or 5 albums out in a year. It's like, man, every album can't be 20 songs.
Unfortunately, unless if it's a really dope artist, like say if I had a Novatore Pete Rock, I'll take 20 tracks.
Yeah.
If it's a Novatore DJ Premier, I'll take motherfucking 25 tracks. I will listen to every fucking track.
It just depends on the person, you know what I mean? If there's something really rock with, you love their shit, yeah, hell yeah, I'll take 20 tracks. I'm not even opposed to doing it necessarily, just for that, take on that huge undertaking and just to do something different. But yeah, I usually like to rock with like 10 to 12. for me personally.
Yeah, give it a take. I mean, because like I said, even this album was kind of short. It's actually a little bit longer than a lot of the EPs or whatever I've heard currently. So it's a little bit longer, but it hit. It hit enough that you're gonna want to rewind it. So it's like the replay value is definitely worth it. Even as a CD, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just gotta say that, man. That fucking album dope. But I wanted to ask you some questions, like just some short questions, real quick. Just to see where your head is at as far as hip hop goes, as far as what you think about what's going on currently with other things, et cetera, et cetera. So first off, this is gonna be a tough one, but I want to see where your head is at. So, which do you prefer, MOP or Onyx? If you could pick one, which one will be your favorite duo?
Onyx. Yeah, I'd
so
personally.
Okay.
I was supposed to play with them a couple months back with R.A. the Rugged Man, but they like quit doing the second half of their tour. So I didn't actually get to rock with them, but I got to rock with R.A. But yeah, I'll take Onyx over MOP personally.
No doubt. Now, what's your favorite album, Onyx?
Dude, to be honest, the LP they dropped with Snow Goons is my favorite. I'm gonna be honest with you, for real, because I'll be honest, I didn't really get into a lot of Onyx shit till a little bit later in the game. So that's some of the first stuff I heard was the shit they were doing with Snow Goons, and that album bangs, man. For real, that's my favorite Onyx album for sure.
So now that you heard the more current, has it made you want to take a time machine back real quick and listen to the earlier Onyx?
Yeah, I've definitely listened to like Last Days and a lot of their old stuff. It's still dope, don't get me wrong, but I probably wouldn't sit and listen to an album from front to back necessarily. You know what I mean? I'd handpick the stuff I like, but yeah. So I've checked out a lot of the old stuff. Don't get me wrong. I just preferred the shit they did with Snow Goons as far as the full album goes.
Ironic, and it's kind of ironic though, because I just now thought about it since I mentioned that. It's funny you said that because MOP also had the album with Snow Goons, so it's like, yeah. Now it became a.
I don't think I really peeped that album. I haven't really peeped it.
I heard Illegal said something about, I think they took it off a website or some shit, something. I was like, damn, I didn't even get a chance to hear it before it got banned. So I'm kind of upset by that.
It got banned?
So they were having like a label thing going on with Baby Grande and shit. So I guess Baby Grande took it off the website. That's what a fan was saying, that they made it unable to be downloaded and shit. So I think they're working on that though. I told Illegal, I'm like, yo, just fucking make a whole remix of the album with the same MOP vocals.
Yeah.
This way you can play your own shit and not have to worry about Baby Grande or whatever the fuck. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Heard nothing but bad shit about Baby Grande or whatever. I've heard nothing but bad shit about them.
Yeah, I just heard about it through Illegal and all that, because I didn't know it was like that. I was a fan of Jedi when it was on Baby Grande, fucking Lost Children of Babylon, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of hearing that they were kind of like that, if that was the case, then it's like, damn. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that the exact, because Illegal didn't even know that. I think he didn't even know that you couldn't download the shit no more. So it was kind of like, I think it took him by surprise, the fact that a fan brought that up and shit.
Yeah. And I can't speak certain, but like I've heard a lot of whispers of just shady, bad business stuff, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They fucking it up for us with all that shit.
Shout out Iris in the chat, yo.
Yeah, peace to everybody still tuned in. Yo, shout Prime Prolific, the homie. Peace. Yo, what was I gonna say though? Which do you prefer, Spotify or YouTube?
I'm on Spotify more, man. I'll pop on YouTube to try and see if there's any videos that drop from the new stuff been hearing. But like I mostly listen to music in my car, man, because I'm driving all the time. So I'll just cue the Spotify shit up, and I got a Spotify playlist. I just put that shit on and just let it go on repeat. So yeah, definitely Spotify. How about you?
Now, I kind of like YouTube because I like I like the fucking what do you call that? I'm more of a observation type of dude. You know what I mean? I like visual aids sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because if you're gonna listen to a gritty ass song, you kind of want to see the visuals behind it, the storytelling, and how they handle it. You know what I mean? So, like, I kind of prefer YouTube a little bit better, but I also feel like YouTube has a wider variety of music and just you know what I mean? You can find shit that was made in the 80s, 70s, but Spotify is like, because they don't have a license for certain shit, you can't find what the fuck you want.
Oh yeah, there's tons on YouTube that you ain't gonna find on Spotify for sure. So they definitely got that, you know, going for them over Spotify.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Because I was gonna finish the question with which would you prefer? Which could you go a year without? But since you say you like Spotify, it's like, you know what I mean? Like I guess you would have to turn down YouTube for a year, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
Word. So I figured I would just run that up in there too. So do you have a favorite feature that you've had? Like, I think we might have mentioned Gore-Tex. I think that might have been the primary, but I wanted to ask, do you have a favorite feature you worked with over all these years, like off a favorite track or something that really stuck out to you?
Man, you caught me up there. That's a hard one. Let me, you know, the Chino XL did a feature on the track me and my dude Am Early Morning got with Stu Bangus. That's pretty insane. That one's a standout because he went nuts on it, man. That, and then honestly, probably the Gore and Bill feature on Suicide Choir from this album. Probably my favorite. Yeah.
Now I was gonna ask you a follow-up to the Gore-Tex. I forgot to ask it earlier. Is there a possibility of you rapping over a Gore-Tex beat?
Talk to him. Tell him, dude. I'm ready. Let's go. I'd love to, man.
You gotta, when you get a chance, you gotta go back. I'll try to send you the link to the Gore-Tex interview, but yeah, he was playing some fucking monsters, yo. I was like, yo, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I see why you kind of don't rap, or you know what I'm saying? You real heavy into the beats, because he was fucking banging some shit, like. And Bliss from You showed me some shit he produced too, Gore-Tex, and yo. Man, I think you would go real nice over them Gore-Tex beats, man. Like, you got some fire.
He's an underrated producer. I feel like a lot of people don't even know he makes beats, but yeah, he makes dope beats.
Yeah, word. I'm surprised about that. But he also does produce, I think he produces a lot, most of the joints for Super Coven with the homie Bliss from Juice and shit. I think so anyways. But yeah, nah, for those who listen to anything Super Coven, for the most part, it does say, I believe, produced by Lord Goat, and he does, yeah, shit. I think a Novatore, yeah, that collab shit happened suicide from the verse. He might even split the verse on it just because he loves his beat so much. He might be like, yo, this beat is fucking fire. I'm gonna hop on this with you.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to. It's definitely in the realm of possibility, but the more people telling him to do it, the more likely it'll happen. So we'll see.
Yo, facts. And the one thing about Gore too, he's been doing it so long, it's funny because I never heard him really repeat lines. Like, I don't know if you ever noticed that, but a lot of the OGs that we grew up listening to, a lot of them repeat themselves somehow. Like, they repeat a line and then they'll add in a metaphor at the end of it to kind of throw you off a little bit, or they'll use similar words.
Yeah. I think I've definitely heard him say, like, he's got his vocabulary, kind of like the word goes to, but never like a full-on line. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of dudes have kind of the particular words that they say a lot. You know what I mean? I feel like he does that, but definitely not like a repeated line, you know? Just that vocabulary. Yeah. I've heard Sean Price like that a lot too. I've heard a lot of, you know, Sean Price verses where he has those couple words he likes to say in a lot of different verses.
Yeah, yo, DJ Views Pace. Yeah, that's why I figured I mentioned that shit about the favorite features, because you're built up on so much fucking dope shit. But like, you should just like, I wonder if you had a favorite. Chino XL's fucking, yeah, his bars is crazy. So I can imagine you seeing that. Especially if it's on the Stu Bangers. You know what I mean? It's the homie Stu Bangers, man. I don't think anybody could really touch him, to be honest with you. Like, he's making the new beat every fucking day. Like,
yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast.
And his son makes beats. And his son makes beats. Like, you know what I mean? He building a whole fucking Stu Banger army over there and shit.
Young bangers.
His son's a beast too. Word. I told him that shit. Like, yo, man, your sample collection's fucking amazing. He actually, we had an interview with him too. You should check out. He gave us some little tidbits, some little fucking Easter eggs, and some of the samples he uses. And I was like, yo, this man be chopping them anime. I did not fully know that. Like, cause most of his joints sound like it's like horror movie soundtrack and some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shit was awesome too. So
salute.
Other than that, man, like I didn't want to hold you too long, but like, yo, I was gonna ask you. I don't know if you want to do this. It's kind of on the spot, but yo, would you be down to drop some bars?
Oh man, I'm gonna pass on this one. If you do an interview with me again, I promise you I will.
Oh, you definitely, yo, you good for the next album and the next album, and the next album. Yo, you set in stone. You know what I'm saying? So, I figured I'd ask that shit because I know I'll be throwing people off guard with shit like that. Sometimes people get tired of me. You be like, man, I'm not ready for that shit. I just got a motherfucking work, and you asking me to free.
I'll be ready. Give me my word. Word is bond.
No doubt. So, anything else you want to mention before we dip out?
Shit, man. Just appreciate everyone in the chat. Shout out to my fiance Kaylee. Shout out to my dude Mo Cyrus, Rob Mullen. Yeah, man. Anyone who don't know who I am, Novatore. Cop the new album, Alchemy and Black Magic, Novatore.us. And yeah, that's about it, man. I appreciate it for real.
Yeah, I appreciate the time, bro. I appreciate you, your constant support too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's you're a good dude, man, and you really holding down hip hop, man. Like, you definitely are doing what you're supposed to be doing for this shit, and I can't wait to hear more of your albums and shit. I'm really glad Benny put me on to you because, yeah, your shit is hot, man. I was like. I didn't know what to expect when Benny was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta check him out." And he had you in the, I think, was using the car and shit, right? That's how it went down. Yeah. I was just like, "Oh shit!" He put me on the spot. He's like, "Yeah, yo, get Novatore on there ASAP." I was like, "Oh, all right, yeah."
I know he passed. Like, oh shit, what the fuck?
He be doing that shit, even when fucking Roscoe's in the room or Smeek, he'd be just like, yo, yeah, here. I gotta go cook something. I gotta go do something. Like, yeah, go take the interview.
We got to do it properly. We got to do it properly.
Yeah, he a good brother though, and I appreciate him and shit. But yeah, no doubt. But yo, like I said, man, any future releases, man, I got you. You hop back on, we can politic. However, I am gonna hold you to that freestyle shit. Next time you come on.
Got you. I'm gonna be ready. I'll be ready for you.
No doubt, bro. But yeah, we're gonna stay in contact after this, anyways. But I'm gonna try to drop this on YouTube in the next couple of days. I gotta edit and shit. But yo, much love, man. I wish the best for you in this album because it's a real dope album. I hope it really gets to where it needs to be. I hope everyone cops it. You know what I mean? Supports this shit. But yeah, and yo, also, like I tell everybody, man, tag me in all your shit. Any post you make, I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? You could be jumping rope. You could be fucking like, you know what I mean? I don't care what it is. Tag me in it, and I will try to help support.
I got you, man. I appreciate that for real. Good talking. Take care.
No doubt, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna hit you up in a few minutes, bro. But yeah, yo, you have a good night and enjoy the rest of your week, yo.
You too, man. Take care, bro. Peace.
All right, brother. Peace. Yeah, that was a homie. Novatore, you know what I mean? Make sure to support cop his album, you know what I mean? Alchemy and Black Magic. I copped mine already. I'm just waiting for it in the mail. My stupid ass should have told him to sign it, but you know what I mean? I didn't think he was gonna be that quick. I thought he was gonna be a little bit longer, so I was like, yo, maybe I can still reach out to him real quick, but yeah, that was my stupid ass fault. So but yeah, make sure to cop that album. It's on Spotify as well. So, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, you should go check Spotify and then go cop the album, but it's definitely worth it, man. I mean, you got fucking Lord Goat on there, the homie Lord Goat, peace to him, peace to the fam, you know what I mean? Ill Bill, you know what I mean? C-Lance, you can't get a fucking better lineup, man. It's just real hardcore hip-hop shit. It's not, you know what I mean? Definitely, I think this album kind of definitely set the bar in a lot of cases because his punchlines, his metaphors, his flow. There's so much. It's very, yeah. Anyways, check him out. Make sure to follow him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tag him in this video so you can go follow him after this. Much love to everybody, you know what I mean, still supporting the show. Shout out to the sponsors, of course, Snow Goons, Creative Juices Music, Elite Sound International, Blazing Up Radio, Violent Frontier, Smile to Get 'em Child, Usual Suspects, you know what I mean? Peace to everybody. Make sure to follow me as well so you can check out all the previous interviews, all the new interviews, etc., etc. I gotta talk to Gore because I want to get Gore back on the show and shit. Yo, the last interview we had with him was dope. I thought the fucking CIA kidnapped him and shit because his phone crashed and shit. So, you know what I mean? Me and Blizz from Juice was talking that shit. But, yeah, yo, DJ Tech once. But, yeah, that'd be dope for a vinyl release. Get the fucking artwork on that shit's amazing. Like, just to take the vinyl out and put it on the wall and shit would be dope as fuck. But anyways, much love to everybody. You know what I mean? Keep supporting. Appreciate that, Akuma. You know what I mean? Much love to everybody. Hope you have a great week, and I'll check y'all next week. Peace.